Steph Curry is the greatest shooter God has ever created.
Ever wonder what the basketball legends and ball maestros of the NBA really think about the one and only Stephen Curry? You know, the guy who seems to have a direct line to the basketball gods when it comes to shooting. Yeah, that's the one. From his early days at Davidson College to his reign of terror on the court, Curry's journey has been nothing short of legendary. But what's the scoop behind the scenes? What do the pros really think about the man who's redefined what it means to shoot hoops from downtown? Straight from the airwaves of a podcast, Paul George doesn't hold back when it comes to discussing Curry's impact on the game. According to George, Curry's got a resume chock full of accomplishments that warrant serious consideration in the greatest of all time conversation. And hey, when you've got a guy like Curry out there, it's hard to argue with George's assessment. Have you seen anyone else knocking down trees with the same consistency and finesse? But it's not just about the numbers with Curry. No, his impact goes far beyond the stat sheet. George emphasizes that Curry's influence has actually changed the way the game is played. Think about it. Before Curry, shooting threes from downtown wasn't exactly commonplace. But now, it's like every player wants to channel their inner Curry and launch shots from deep. George's point is clear. Curry's legacy isn't just about being a sharpshooter. It's about reshaping the entire landscape of basketball. George acknowledges that there are multiple GOATs in the NBA, each leaving an indelible mark on the sport. But when he tosses Curry into that esteemed conversation, it's about more than just stats and highlights. It's about the perfect union of an outstanding career and a seismic impact on the game itself. According to George, it's this combination that solidifies Curry's spot amongst the greatest of all time. And you know what? Curry himself isn't one to shy away from the greatness debate. In a candid moment on Over to Arenas' podcast, when asked if he's the greatest point guard ever, he paused for a moment, letting the weight of the question sink in, and then confidently replied with a resounding yes. Now, let's talk about the man, the myth, the legend, Michael Jordan. When Stephen A. Smith sparked that fiery discussion on ESPN's First Take about Curry potentially surpassing Magic Johnson, MJ wasn't about to stay silent. No. Instead, he took action, firing off a lengthy text to Smith firmly asserting Magic Johnson's status as the best point guard of all time. But hey, MJ isn't blind to Curry's shooting prowess. He acknowledges that Curry is, without a doubt, the best shooter the game has ever seen. We're talking about a guy who's a career 43% shooter from beyond the arc. That's insane. But for MJ, it's not just about the shooting. It's about the impact on the game. He argues that while Curry may have revolutionized the three-pointer, Magic Johnson is the one who really put the triple-double on the map. And you know what? He's got a point. In that text, MJ didn't just talk hoops. He brought up history. See, there's a little backstory between MJ and Magic. Back in '91, Jordan defeated Magic in the NBA Finals to clinch his first championship. Now let's shift our attention to none other than LeBron James. The NBA's all-time scorer isn't one to overlook greatness, and when it comes to Steph Curry, he's got nothing but praise. LeBron himself declared, "We're all witnesses to what Steph Curry has done in this career and the way that he's changed the game." High praise coming from the king himself. LeBron goes on to emphasize just how rare of a talent Curry is, dubbing him a once-in-a-lifetime basketball player. He's absolutely right. But what's truly mind-blowing is how quickly Curry has climbed the all-time three-point list. We are talking about Ray Allen, a three-point legend in his own right, holding the record after 1,300 games. And then, along comes Curry, smashing that record in just 789 games. It's not just about breaking records for Curry, it's about redefining them. Now let's rewind a bit to those epic NBA final battles between LeBron and Curry from 2015 to 2018. Warriors versus Cavaliers, a clash of the titans if there ever was one. Despite the fiery on-court rivalry, LeBron isn't blind to the game-changing impact Curry brought on the hardwood. Ray Allen didn't hold back when he showered Steph Curry with praise. According to Allen, Curry isn't just on another level, he's in a league of his own. He's crafted an incredible path for himself, displaying not just remarkable skills on the court, but also a stellar character off it. Curry's impact on the basketball world is undeniable. Whether you're a die-hard baller or just a casual fan, you can't escape the gravitational pull of his talent. He's become a beacon, drawing in fans, players, and coaches alike with his mesmerizing performances. But it's not just about the highlights and the numbers, it's about the way he's redefined what's possible on the court. And now, let's bring in the man himself, Jerry West. You know, the guy whose silhouette graces the NBA logo. West's insight into Curry's impact on the game are bound to be enlightening. Paul George didn't hold back on his podcast when he dropped some serious knowledge bombs about Steph Curry. According to George, Curry is a better all-around player than he often gets credit for. He pointed out that Curry's defensive skills, in particular, have evolved to a point where he's now recognized as a terrific defender. A far cry from the perception George once had. Now, let's unpack that for a moment. Jerry West, a legend in his own right, played in an era where defense was everything. So for him to acknowledge Curry's defensive prowess is like passing the torch to a new era of basketball excellence. It speaks volumes about Curry's evolution as a player, challenging and shattering preconceived notions along the way. Now comes in Kyrie Irving. This guy has been in the trenches against the Warriors throughout his career, and he's witnessed firsthand the impact Curry has had on the game. After a showdown at Chase Center, Kyrie didn't just talk about the game, they talked about a revolution. Kyrie reflects on how Curry has completely revolutionized the game of basketball. And you know what's even more special? Now let's take a moment to bask in the glory of Steph Curry's accolades. We're talking about a guy who's notched up 4 NBA championships, earned the honor of All-Star 9 times, clinched the title of scoring champ twice, and snagged the NBA MVP trophy twice as well. But despite these jaw-dropping stats and accomplishments, there's been a curious reluctance among some to place him alongside the usual GOAT suspects. Why is that, you ask? Well, it could be because of his youthful appearance, earning him the nickname Baby-Faced Assassin. Or perhaps it's the fact that his scoring prowess revolves around a shot that wasn't even a thing until 1979, the three-pointer. Now let's fast forward to the 2022 NBA Finals, a moment that truly solidified Curry's status as one of the all-time greats. It was here that Curry turned the hardwood into his canvas, painting a masterpiece that silenced even the staunchest skeptics. And the cherry on top? Winning the Finals MVP trophy, the missing piece in his already illustrious collection, which now proudly sits on his mantle as a testament to his undeniable greatness. It seems even the harshest critics, including Shaq himself, are starting to recognize Steph Curry's place among the NBA greats. Unprovoked on his podcast, Shaq boldly declared that the best player in the world is none other than Steph Curry. No qualifiers, no ifs or buts about it. And you know what? Shaq isn't alone in his praise. During a discussion about the powerhouse teams in the Western Conference, Shaq, Kenny Smith, and the crew couldn't help but acknowledge Curry's dominance. Shaq went as far as to proclaim that nobody plays better than Steph Curry. But it's not just Shaq who's taking notice. Steph Curry and others have observed Curry's peak physical condition even at the age of 35. And with that in mind, Shaq predicts that even more accolades will stack up for Curry in the seasons to come. And then there's Kerr himself. In one of the away games, Kerr faced the press post-game, and inevitably, the question arose, what's with the overwhelming support on the road? Kerr didn't hesitate to give credit where credit is due, attributing it all to the Curry effect. He went so far as to compare Curry to the modern-day MJ. I used to see this playing with the Bulls. Half the crowd has red number 23 jerseys on. Now, half the crowd has blue and yellow number 30 jerseys. Steph Curry isn't just a basketball player, he's a phenomenon. Now, let's hear from the other half of the dynamic duo with Steph Curry, Klay Thompson. After a game, Klay shared some insights, shedding light on Curry's often overlooked passing prowess. Stepping up to the mic during the post-game interaction, Klay expressed, "I think this is something that he's always done. I've played for the guy for 10 years now, and he's always been able to pass just like this. Just as scoring is so good, it can get overlooked sometimes." Do let us know about your thoughts in the comment section, and don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. Catch you next time.